There is a problem within the Kenya Kwanza Limited company. The company is engrossed and embroiled with a lot of anxiety, fear, and panic. Very soon, things will begin to fall apart, in the words of Chinua Achebe. Ladies and gentlemen, ever since the reality of an inevitable talk between Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto dawned on the Kenya Kwanza team, members are having sleepless nights. And there are clandestine meetings, some running very late into the night. Reason being, there is mistrust between legislators from the Mount Kenya and those from the Rift Valley. This story is given in the Standard, and this is what is recorded. That a section of Mount Kenya leaders met on Sunday night to review the new developments, with sources indicating that they are opposed to Ruto's talks with the opposition leader. The meeting in Runda, which went late into the night, was chaired by Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru and was attended by some governors and leaders from the region. That is the situation where we are. A section of leaders are retreating late into the night to deliberate on the new developments. And you wonder, what is really happening? Behind this happy facade that we are being given lies a fearful nation, lies a scared group. And what is happening? Fear of the unknown. You know, the Bible says that a righteous man is as brave as a lion, but a guilty person will always flee even when there is no one pursuing them. And this is exactly what is happening with the Mount Kenya legislators that belong to the UDA. Madam Anne Waiguru chaired a meeting late into the night. What I can call Mount Kenya UDA caucus. And when I read about Madam Anne Waiguru, something came to my mind. Because she once said that you can only rent a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy a Kikuyu. And so their support to William Ruto, was it rented or purchased? Because they painted Mount Kenya yellow. They voted for William Ruto to the last man. Partly because they didn't like Raila Amolo Odinga, and partly because they wanted to punish Kamwana, the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. They had swallowed all the lies, that all the problems that we were facing, all the problems that the Mount Kenya fraternity were facing, were caused by none other than Kamwana himself. And so today, they are regrouping, and they want to see to it that their position, their interests are taken care of. This meeting is said to have deliberated on a number of things. They just don't welcome any talks between William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga. And they decided on just two things that I want us to talk about. Before we delve so much, if you're watching our channel for the first time, allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos so that anytime we do a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. You can also share our videos. And to all our supporters and subscribers and our viewers, I want to say thank you very much. One of the things that they decided is that they made William Ruto become the president. And they are working on a principle, if I made you, I can break you. And so William Ruto must listen to them. Talking of listening to them, one of the things that William Ruto must do according to that meeting is that Rigathi Gachagua must be part and parcel of the negotiations, because they feel it is only Rigathi Gachagua who will take care of their interests. The Azimio is not left out either, because I understand that the Mount Kenya also want to be represented. They unveiled 5-member team, and there are rumor that there is disquiet in Azimio. And so Mount Kenya people really love themselves. They say they contribute so much economically to the Kenyan nation, and so they want to be part and parcel of every political decision making. So Rigathi Gachagua, they say, must be part and parcel. Failure to which they will regroup again, retreat, and make a big announcement. The last time I checked, there comes a time when a nation is bigger than an individual, but in this sense, some individuals are bigger than our nation. But why do you think there is this fear of the unknown? Two things, ladies and gentlemen. The Mount Kenya caucus is drawing their fear from what happened just recently. There was a time when legislators were voting in the members to occupy the positions of EALA, East African Legislative Assembly. They themselves told us that their counterparts from the Rift Valley sabotaged them and voted down all the members from Mount Kenya. And this was the beginning of the love between Rigathi Gachagua and Kanini Kega. Because when they realized that their UDA counterparts had been sidelined, they now decided, let us pick one of our own. And they rallied support, according to them, to vote for Kanini Kega, even though he was not part and parcel of the Kenya Kwanza of the UDA. From that day, when they accused their counterpart from the Rift Valley of sidelining and sabotaging them, that was a wake-up call, and to date, there has been a rift. There has been suspicion and mistrust between them. And so they feel that if they are going into these talks, they must regroup first as a nation, the Mount Kenya nation, to look into their interest, to discuss what they want, before they now come together as a whole, the whole Kenya Kwanza team. And I would blame them, because if they were, once bitten twice shy, if they were shown the true character of their counterparts from Rift Valley, then they must be very careful now. Number two, these people are still suffering from amnesia or something, if I want to call it. They feel that what happened in 2007 and what happened in 2017 might be their fate. But when they start feeling like this is their fate, then it only shows one thing. They are afraid. And if you see someone who's afraid, it means the elections was never free and fair. That's the reality. Otherwise, why should they have all this fear? Because most of them know that they are sitting in offices that if elections were to be credible, free, fair and verifiable, they would have been there. They're taking salary illegally. They probably understand that William Ruto might have not become the president, why not from the pressure and the aid from USA, why not from the Supreme Court and the IEBC. And so that is the fear that they have, that tables might turn. They also know that in 2017, when Uhuru Kenyatta shook hands with Raila Amolo Odinga, he started distributing development equitably, going to Luo Nyanza, Kisumu, and all these other places. But according to Rigathi Gachagua, if you didn't vote for them, you are not supposed to get the fair share of the national cake because you are a non-shareholder. So they feel that William Ruto might just do the same. They might just agree that because everyone is a taxpayer, he will now be spreading development agenda to all equitably, something that will really infuriate and vex Rigathi Gachagua. Could be this is part of the fear. The last one, they are so much obsessed about guarding their position, and Rigathi Gachagua is looking at taking the baton after William Samoei Ruto. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta had promised William Ruto, kumira kumira, kumi yangu, kumi yako. He was to do a two-term limit of 10 years and then hand over the baton for William Ruto to do his two-term limit. But he accused William Ruto of a man who was in a hurry, always trying to get the baton before the time comes. Started his campaigns early when he was saying that he wanted them to concentrate on development agenda. And so they sabotage. They feel that this could be their fate because they feel that Rigathi Gachagua is a man who is poised to becoming the president after William Samoei Ruto. And so if William Ruto, they think, sits together and talk with Raila Amolo Odinga, then he might decide to punish Rigathi Gachagua And this is really, really eating them inside. Already, Rigathi Gachagua has got very many competitors. We have Musalia Mudavadi there. We have Kithure Kindiki there. And so they really feel that they are exposed and vulnerable, especially if at all there could be any kind of political arrangements. But I like the fact that the Azimio has stated that they don't want to get into any kind of arrangements with a Nusumkati kind of arrangement. All they want is electoral justice, scrutiny of the server, reinstatement of the Cherera reform. They want things like reconstitution of the IEBC Commission, the high cost of living, all these things that are very pertinent to the Kenyan nation. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when you see people retreating late into the night, then you know there is a problem. There is a rift. There are two camps within the KK company. The shareholders have already started fighting, and the talks have not even begun. When we tell you that Raila Amolo Odinga is an institution, you think it is a joke. Wait for more to come, and you will know why Raila is called enigma in politics. Last, leaders are being encouraged that when they sit down, let them have the interest of the Kenyans first. Because power belongs to the people.